Today I am going to be giving you your Naplan Survival Kit. Happy Naplan Week, everybody. I'm going to give you your Naplan Survival Kit today. So if you hang in there, I am going to give tips to teachers, parents and students on this week's Naplan tests. So if you just are joining in, this is Kafoople Land. You've arrived at Kafoople Land, and I am E.J. Kafooples. I'm a high school teacher in New South Wales, Australia, and I am about to just sort of give you some of my tips, and I'm just trying to set everything up, so excuse me if I'm sort of looking all around the place, but welcome if you're just joining in. Just give me a shout, like say hello if you're in the comments if you're joining in, because I'd love to hear from you. Hi, welcome. Today we're talking about Naplan, and I'm going to give you a survival kit so that you can hopefully not freak out this week over Naplan. So welcome to Kafoople Land, and I'm about to start with my tips. I have got, can anyone put in the chat like box if you're there on YouTube so that I know that you're there, please? And I have had a bit of trouble with these chat boxes in the past, so just bear with me a moment and I'll try and you know, figure it out so that we can all sort of be talking to each other. And you guys can ask me questions as well. Just free to ask questions of me. And just bear with me a moment, sorry. So Naplan in Australia is in its, I think, 10th year now. So it started in 2008. Sorry, hang on. I think I figured out the chat. I figured out the chat. All right. So only trouble is now I can't see myself, but who cares about that, right? I can't see myself. So if you're there in the chat, can you say hello, please, so that I know that you're there, and hopefully we can have a little bit of a conversation, so you can ask me questions and hopefully I'll try and answer them as well for you. So this week we're doing Naplan, and Naplan is, it stands for, this is what it stands for. Do you even know what it stands for? It stands for National Assessment Program for Literacy and Numeracy. Here, look, I've got an actual one. This is last year's Year 7 numeracy test, and I've got bits and pieces of last year's literacy. So it's got two main sections, literacy and numeracy. They get a booklet, a magazine to read, and then they have reading comprehension questions to answer. This is last year's Year 7 one, which consists of multiple choice questions where they colour the bubble, and there is also a language convention section, which I don't have here with me now, and also they have to do a writing section. So this was last year's, and it was a narrative. Sometimes they have to write a narrative, sometimes they have to write a persuasive piece of writing. So across the whole nation, we've got on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday this week, we've got Year 3, Year 5, Year 7 and Year 9 all completing it. So it's over 1 million children, I think, in Australia who are doing it this week. So that's why I thought I would give you a little survival kit on you know, on what you can do to make it just a little bit better. Year 5, Year 7 and Year 9 all completing it. So can you hear that? It's over 1 million children. That's annoying. Okay, right. Now, I was doing a little bit of research last night on this topic, and I looked up on Twitter, and on the ACARA website has quite a few little videos, actually, promotional videos talking about Naplan, and this is what the CEO of ACARA says. His name is Rob Randall. He said, "We don't encourage practicing for Naplan." Now, Naplan started out, it was meant to be a diagnostic test when it started out in 2008, but in my opinion, it's turned into a standardized test where we look, well, it is a standardized test, isn't it? Because you get a benchmark of where students are sitting compared with their peers in the country. in their school and in their state. So it provides a lot of information for teachers, which can be quite useful information. But we also know that it's something that's just a snapshot of one day of the year in that child's life. And so it's not really to be considered just on its own. It shouldn't be the only thing that informs your professional opinion and judgment about what's going to happen in your classroom. So it's just one thing. Right. Now, I also want to read to you something that Mr. Randall said. He said that we don't encourage practicing for the Naplan, and that Naplan should reflect, this is what he said, sustained breadth, I think, and rich teaching and learning programs that schools already have in place. I agree with that. That's true. And I think all of the teachers that I've come across in my career have always been about wanting the best for the students and trying to equip them with the skills that they need when they leave school and just in life in general. So he also said, though, which is interesting, that teaching and learning can be complemented by a bit of familiarisation to make young people familiar with the form of the test itself. So this is the problem, I think, is that students, particularly those younger ones in Year 3 and in my experience in Year 7, they haven't done Naplan that much yet, and so, well, Year 3 haven't done it at all, and so it's quite confronting, very scary, and you see a lot of anxiety exhibited. Even in the Year 9 students, you see anxiety or real negativity exhibited in the students when they know that they have to sit it. So that's coming up this week. So I wanted to give you a little bit of a survival kit on how you can go about it as a parent, as student, and as teachers. So what we've been doing at our school is we have familiarised the students with the format of the test. We've shown them what it looks like. We've explained to them what they're going to have to do. And we've also been doing some revision on some basic language conventions, some basic grammar and punctuation and spelling rules and stuff like that. So that never hurts, does it? First, I thought I'd talk to the students. So you guys, I would like to, and I think most teachers would agree with me, just type in yes if you agree, if you're a teacher, that this is not something that we want you to get really scared about and really nervous about. We want you to sort of try and be as calm as possible, and also just to try and do your best. Hello. There's a student there. And also try and do your best so that you show off your knowledge and your skills on that particular day to the best of your ability. We don't want you to think that it's a be-all and end-all test, because as teachers and as schools, we don't allow that to inform all of our opinion about everything about you. Your classroom teachers know you really well, and they see you working every single week in their classes, and they have a very good idea of what you are capable of. So please don't think that everything is hinged on that one test on those 3 days every year. So just do your best. Understand that it's just a snapshot. Don't be anxious, afraid or worried. And also give yourself the best shot by having early nights, sleeping well, and eating well on the test during the test week, so that you can perform as well as you can, but at the same time not being uptight about performing well, if that makes sense. Okay, that's for the students or the children. Is there anyone here who's doing it for the first time this year? Any Year 3 students? I'd be interested to see how you are feeling, or parents whose children are doing it for the first time, because it can be quite confronting. So here is my little survival kit of 3 tips for parents whose students are doing it for the first time. Oh, no, sorry, for parents whose students are doing it at all. So first of all, encourage your child just to simply do what they can on the test. And that's a bit of a fine line, because you don't want to minimise its importance by saying, it's all just stupid and forget about it, because that breeds a negative attitude in the students, and then they're not going to perform their best. But encourage them to do their best, and also encourage them that this is not the only thing that the teachers are going to be looking at when they're trying to assess where you're at. Encourage them to just demonstrate their skills, because that's what it's for. It's a demonstration of what they can do, so that the teachers can then figure out what they need to focus on in class. If there's some gaps in learning, or if there's something that needs to be strengthened, then the teachers will go ahead and use that information to just sort of adjust their teaching a little bit. Also, explain the purpose of the test. It's not a race. It's not a competition. It is finding out information. And it's not, you know, it's not a ranking thing. We're not going to rank you and say you came first, second, third, or fourth, or whatever in the class. It is just a way of collecting information that can help the teachers and the school and the parents as well. Okay, to the teachers. If there are any teachers watching, can you just give me a hello in the chat? Because, oh, there's my son in the back. Because I know sometimes it can really mess with teachers' heads as well, because there's a lot of discussion at school about the results of Naplan, and excuse me, sometimes we can get a little bit worked up about what our own students are going to get, like where they're going to fall in the bands, because it goes in bands. But I have got 3 little survival tips for you guys as well. So I would suggest that you focus with the students, because you've only got Monday left now before the test. Focus on a growth mindset with them. Provide them with the language that they can use, the self-talk that they can use to have a positive attitude. So, and they might not have the language around that. They might be quite negative already. So you need to provide them with the language. So instead of saying things like, I give up, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I can't do it, provide them with things, with little catchphrases like, I can try these strategies that I've been taught. If this didn't work, then I'll try something else. I'm always learning. Little catchphrases like that, and you can even put them up around in your classroom, or just talk to the kids about it, because we don't want them to feel anxious and we don't want them to feel negative about their ability. The second thing is try not to make a big deal about it. Sometimes we get worked up as teachers, and we really want the kids to do the best that they can, because it's going to reflect positively on us and on our school. And but don't translate that to them. Like, don't put that pressure on them. That's the last thing that they need. And that's not what it's about anyway. It's just about collecting information that we can utilize in our classrooms. The third thing is, even though sometimes it does try and mess with your head, don't allow it to, because this is just a snapshot. That child, and it's only 3 days of the whole year, that child might be feeling unwell that day. He or she may not be on top of their game for whatever reason. Something may have happened at home, and so this is just a snapshot of what their skills are. And you know that there are other assessments that inform your professional opinion as well. So don't get caught up in that whole mess in your head. Okay, I do have a bit of a bonus tip for you, and it's just a bonus discussion, I guess, about assessment. And we're at a point in time where most of us are getting ready for reports and stuff like that as well. And so my little tip for you there is to, in fact, try and forget about Naplan now. After you've equipped the kids with that positive self-talk and that growth mindset, focus on what they can do in the classroom. Focus on your observations and the assessment pieces that you have collected and gathered. Put it all together so that you can now see the bigger picture in preparation for reports. Focus on what they can do, what the child can accomplish, and what their skills are, and also focus on what they can work towards, or what you as a team can work towards improving on for second semester. Because even though we're only at the start of term 2, we need to start looking forward to second semester and starting to plan what skills we need to improve in the students, and therefore what we're going to be teaching. So I also wanted to chat to you guys a little bit about what I've been watching on YouTube lately. I've been watching, there are so many great teaching YouTubers out there, and I have been watching, I have been watching Kate the Sleepy Teacher, Real Rap for Reynolds, Real Rap with Reynolds, sorry, that's Mr. Reynolds, and I sometimes watch Tina Beitler as well. She's pretty good. Teacher Tales, she's fantastic. She's an Australian teacher as well, primary school teacher. She's really great, and she's got awesome tips. Too Cool for middle school, she's really good. So I might link some of those up later when I edit this video, so you guys can have a look and check them out as well. I hope you guys have a great week. I'm going to try and enjoy it. We've got beautiful weather here. It's really, really sunny. It's cold in the evenings now, but it's really sunny today, and we've got beautiful daytime weather. And I wish you all the best in your Naplan week, whether you are a student, a teacher or a parent, and I hope that your child does not feel too anxious, and I hope that they understand the importance of this test and don't give it too much weight. So but I have to try and figure out how to get off this thing. Oh my goodness. How do I get off it? Am I still on? Oh no, I'm stuck on here forever. Am I going to be live forever? This is pretty funny. Okay, everyone, just chat amongst yourselves while I try and figure out how to get off here. I've gone into another window.
Hi, hello, welcome.
Shush.
Today I am going to be giving you
Sorry.
Naplan Survival Kit. Happy Naplan Week, everybody. I'm going to give you your Naplan Survival Kit today.
Oh no.
So if you hang in there, I am going to teachers.
Oh no, how funny. How do I get off that? Oh gosh. Thinks I'm trying to join again. Thinks I'm trying to join you on. Okay, bye. I figured it out. Okay. Figured it out. Bye.